And we're back once again, only on It's Last Call. Last Call with the alcohol, only on the Last Call YouTube channel. Now, join me here on location. He's getting ready for his big fight coming up. It is Bellator 264. It's Mousasi versus Salter. It's this man against Kazimura Pastayev in a middleweight scrap. Well, he's hoping to get back on the winning ways. I give you once again all the way from Xtreme Couture. I give you it's Ty Gwerder. Ty, let's start off here with it's you, Kazimura Pastayev. What do you know about him? Like when you and your team have broken down tape and you've done your homework, what kind of fighter is he compared to, let's say, anybody so far you faced in Bellator?
To be quite honest, we haven't even sat down and broke him down and watched him. I've never really been a fan of looking at what my opponents do. I kind of just go in there and almost wing it. I'll maybe look if they're a striker or a grappler at most, but to be honest, I really don't look into it. Just because, people get into the habit of thinking and getting worried about what they're going to do that they end up straying away from their game, I like to go in there and do what I do best, regardless of what they're going to do. It's up to me to adapt to what they do, regardless of how the fight goes, But as far as I know, from what I've heard, he fancies himself a striker, which is great. I'm just looking to bang, actually, to have an entertaining fight, win or lose. I want to have a good, entertaining fight. From his record and what I've seen, his wins were majority from guillotine chokes on Gladiator Challenge, which is pretty odd, He's 6'6". If I was 6'6" in a middleweight, I'd be striking with everybody. But that's good because he knows he's very well rounded. But from what I've seen, the only fight I actually watched, which I didn't even intentionally choose to watch, I just remember watching him fight Phil Hawes on the Contender Series where he got dropped. He decided to stand and bang with Phil, and he's a one punch, one kick kind of guy. Like, he likes to do things in singles, and I think that plays in my advantage.
All right, so let's talk about that fact you just mentioned. He's 6'6". That's just a huge friggin' guy right there.
He's a monster.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for a guy like that, where it's just like length? I mean, because if he fights how a smart fighter is, he'll just keep you at bay, pick you apart, and force you to have to go, okay, well, this kind of sucks. I can get in there. I mean, what do you do differently when you're fighting a guy that tall and that lanky?
When you get guys like that, it is hard to prepare for someone that tall because very rarely you're going to come across guys like that. Like, we got Francis Ngannou in our gym and he's 6'4", So he, from what I've seen, I believe he's only got like a 76-inch reach. I've got a longer reach from what I recall. I think I got like a 77 or something like that. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff either. But being that he's actually not very long, I think it still makes it a pretty good matchup anyway. I don't think his length will play much of a factor on what I'm going to try and do in this fight. I believe he does have long legs, which is probably the reason why he's 6'6". So if I can stay away from, him using his legs to keep the distance, I think that'll be fine. I won't have any issues. You can't really prepare too much for someone that tall, but I think getting him to freeze and not, keep him guessing is going to really play in my favor.
Is there more, I don't want to say pressure, but is there more, I guess, urgency in this fight to go, okay, take him down, rough him up? I mean, how much, when you describe him, how much of this is where it's like you and your team go, okay, let's make this, a lot of grappling, a lot of infighting, basically try to make him a much smaller fighter?
I have no intentions of grappling. If I have to go there, I will. I don't have a problem with that. I've spent a lot of time grappling since I've been back from my injury. And, something I didn't get to do last camp. Either way, we're gonna stand and bang as long as he wants to keep it there. Like for me, I want to knock him out. I just want to knock everybody out. So the urgency is definitely there this fight. I don't want to spend more time in there than I need to, and I don't think he belongs in there with me. He is 10-4, but I don't think he belongs in there with me. I'm very dangerous. I'm 5-2. My record doesn't show for it, I guess you could say, but I got 100% finish rate. So the urgency is to get him out quick. I don't want to mess around and leave any decisions in the hands of the judges.
We're gonna go back to this fight in a bit. Take me back to the last one. It was you, Dalton Rosta. Unfortunately, came out when they lost. How much do you look back at that and go, I wish I had more time? I mean, because you were fresh off the George Tokos win, and then you're fighting within almost 45 days afterwards. Going, oh yeah, let's go right back into this. I mean, how much do you look and go, maybe I should have taken more time. Maybe I should have had a longer camp and just rested the body and then gotten back in the cage.
I chose to fight that soon. I never, like, they asked me, and as soon as I walked out of the cage, I looked over at Rich and said, I was like, I want one more, let's go. Like, I came out of the Tuco fight without an injury whatsoever. I wasn't banged up. So I felt like I didn't even fight that night. I mean, no disrespect to George, he put on a great fight. He's tough. But I chose to fight in 45 days. I wanted it. And, really the only downfall going into that Dalton fight was I hadn't grappled the whole time. That whole leading up to the fight, I did not grapple. As soon as I took that 1 week break after the Tuco fight, and as soon as I got back, I messed my ankle up a bit, and I was like, damn, I wasn't sure the extent of the injury. I definitely made it much worse going in, like when I got into that fight and I threw that first kick. But like my ankle was pretty messed up where I wasn't able to grapple all camp. I did everything I could, and I wasn't about to pull out because I asked for it. I'm stubborn as well. Like I said, I'm an entertainer. I'm gonna go out on my shield if I have to. And I believe the only thing that really messed me up going into that fight was the lack of grappling.
So going forward, and as I said, it's a loss, it's over with, it's done, you put it in the back, but you try to learn from it. So what do you do going forward? Because it's, middleweight's becoming a wrestler's division. You look at Bellator, they got a lot of guys who are, whether it's Rosta, Romero Cotton, even Austin Vanderford to an extent, they like wrestling. They like taking people down and just mauling them a bit. What are you doing now differently so that this isn't one of those things where people look at Gwerder go, oh, he can't wrestle. Let's just make it a wrestling contest and just, piss him off by, just getting on top, lay, pray, ground and pound, and making him just start cursing.
Ah, man. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks I can't wrestle, but you look at the stats, every time everyone's tried to take me down, they haven't been very successful. Dalton shot on me 13 times in that last fight and succeeded on 2 of them. And one of them being my fault because I threw a flying knee and he caught me midair. George Tuco took me down, shot on me three or 4 times, and he got 1 of the 3. And, you can't defend them all. Nothing, I'm not taking away anything from them. They're great wrestlers. The Daltons come from a really good pedigree as well. And if everyone thinks they want to keep wrestling me, they can keep doing so. But I'm really trying to build my game to where guys have no choice but to strike with me. You're gonna try and take me down all you want. You're gonna tire yourself out. You may get 1 in there, but good luck trying to hold me down. I really want to be that guy where when they know they're gonna, when they get the call and they're like, hey, you want to fight Ty Gwerder? They're like, damn, do I really, like, this is a fight where I know I'm gonna end up standing almost the whole fight.
How much are you looking forward to this upcoming fight where it's starting to get back to normal? And I hate that I use that word, carefully, but there will be fans in the arena. There will be, you no longer have to stay inside your room at all, times. You can actually leave if you want. I mean, because I'm guessing the last two fights, it's been a bit of a pain where, and yeah, I get it. Most fighters stay in their rooms, but you feel like a little kid almost during a timeout. You are stuck in the room. You can't leave. They tell you when you can and can't. And you basically, everything you want to do, you can't because, well, COVID. That's all you need to say.
You know, Mohegan Sun isn't quite the place where you can do much anyway. It's really almost in the middle of nowhere. It's a little town, and I'm totally fine with being stuck in a room. I bring my Xbox and I just jam games with the boys, and we get on Call of Duty, and we just spend the whole time playing video games. So like I don't like to do much anyway. I got the old school like football mindset where coach would always tell us stay off your feet right before the fight, stay off your feet all day, rest your legs, recover. And I like to do that going into my fights. I don't really do much fight week. I spend almost, out of the 5 days we're out getting ready for fight week, I spend, maybe 3 of them doing absolutely nothing. I lay in bed, watch TV, watch movies, play video games, and just chill.
I get that part, but is it better now that it's like, okay, you have a choice? I mean, if you decide, hey, I just want to leave Mohegan Sun, there's a little burger joint, I want to grab, quick burger, something. I don't want to stay, and pay for overpriced food. All right, you can do that. I mean, is it easier now that it's your choice no longer? No, we are mandating this. You must do this because you are a little kid. We don't trust you. You're gonna get COVID, so stay in your room like a good little boy and eat your peas and vegetables.
I'm fine with it. I'm staying in either way. I'm like, it is cool. It's nice to be able to feel like we have some freedom, but either way, it doesn't bother me. It's fight week to me. It's work. It's not a vacation. I worry about going exploring after the fight. After I'm done doing my business, I like leading up to the fight. I just want to stay in my room, stay focused, and think about what I got to do and to be successful.
If you're just joining in, once again, we get Ty Gwerder here. We're talking all things, of course. It's Bellator 264. We're talking his opponent, fighting guys who are 6'6". We're talking, well, Dalton Rosta. I got to ask, who gave you the nickname Savage? Because you don't give yourself your own nickname. So somebody had to give it to you. Give me the story behind the nickname, and who was the one who dubbed you all of a sudden? No, your name isn't Ty Gwerder. No, we're not going by your first name. You are now Savage.
It actually started in high school. Coming from football, the guys would we'd have our football games and then come back on Saturday morning and have our Saturday morning practice and watch film from the night before. And like whether the ball was anywhere near me or not, you'd see me kind of at the end of the screen or like right at the end of the play, come and clean somebody out. Like anybody that was around me, whether the ball was near me or not, was a casualty. So everyone would laugh just watching me clean guys out on the screen and be like, dude, Ty is a savage. Like he doesn't even care. He just like everybody's the casualty. And going into my professional, even my amateur fights, I finished a bunch of my amateur fights. I showed a bit of relentlessness to my style and my game. Like I just keep coming forward. I don't like I like this stuff. I like the pressure. I love to get grimy and dirty with it. So, and when I started knocking guys out, everyone was like, damn, he's a savage. He really doesn't care. He just wants to take people out. And that's kind of how I carry myself. I want to fight with no remorse,
So how do you find that balance where, because like a lot of fighters like yourself, I will compare you to a Donald Cerrone, Derek Campos. You love to scrap. You just want to, you go in there and there might be a game plan, but there's that, instinct in you that goes, all right, let's just start broad. Screw this game plan. We're chin checking, baby. We're going, punch for punch. I want to start knocking somebody out. How do you find that balance where it's like, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, but not just overly aggressive. I'm not going to just, go in there and try and get a wild brawl.
I used to be a brawler when I was an amateur, and I had to get away from that because it's got me into trouble. I've taken shots as an amateur, and I don't need to do that. Like I've had all my hard fights as an amateur. I was, like all the brawls, all the cuts and all the bruises were all as an amateur. And since I've turned pro, I've kind of tried to push myself towards being more of a technical, skilled killer. Basically, I want Coach Eric Nixick, like he's like, dude, you hit hard. All you need is one punch, and it shows that in my first 4 fights, I've finished everybody under 2 minutes. And he's always said, he's like, clean kills. Imagine you're a sniper. Clean kills, one shot. That's all you need. And I'm starting to show that. I don't take damage in my fights. I very rarely get hit. And in my 7-fight pro career, I haven't had any damage. I haven't taken any damage in the fight exactly, besides the Dalton fight. And I'm going to continue to be a technical fighter. I want to put the pressure on guys, make them feel like they're suffocating in there, and get clean kills.
As you said, it's the Bellator middleweight division. There is no. I mean, you have. It's funny. You'll be fighting on Mousasi versus Salter card. That's for a title.
Yes.
There's no real number one contender. I mean, there'll be people who will say, well, maybe it's Lorenz Larkin, but he hasn't fought really at middleweight. I know a lot of people pushing Ed Ruth once again, hasn't fought at middleweight. Austin Vanderford is 5-0, hasn't really fought anybody. Same with Johnny Eblin, Dalton Rosta, Romero Cotton. How much do you look at this fight and go, okay, this is the start? I win this fight, then another fight, then another fight. And you know what? I'm in a top 10 contendership, especially how middleweight is so just free for all with everybody here. How much do you look at this and go, okay, this is going to be the start of a nice winning streak? I win this fight, and all of a sudden I start, maybe 2022, I'm in the title picture, baby.
I haven't even really looked that far. I'm really just taking it one step at a time. I have thought about the guys in the top 10 that I do want to fight and who I will possibly end up fighting. Our division's really thin in Bellator. We have, I think, 15 guys that are actually in contract. And you got guys like, you got Mousasi, and then you got Lima, who both have over 25 fights. And then you got whoever's number 3, 4, and 5, who's got not even 15 fights. And it almost kind of looks like exactly what you said. We don't have a clear number one contender. And I think because a lot of it is experience. And I think Mousasi and Lima are both on a different level right now compared to everybody else that's in this division. Mousasi's been through it all. He's lost the title, won the title, and I think we're in a real thin division where there's a lot of guys, and even from the top, from that 5 to 10th ranking is where I feel like they still need a bunch more work to do before they get to that number 1 seed. And we'll see. I want to just take guys out from one by one. I'm not even really looking past this fight at all. I want to entertain, win fights more than anything. I haven't even thought about a title yet.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I give you all the way from Xtreme Couture. I give you it's the Savage himself. I give you Ty Gwerder. Ty, before I let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website, and who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up?
You can check me out on Instagram or Twitter, ty.savage.mma. Sponsorships this fight, we're working on some, but I got my meal prep company, Straight to the Core LV. They've been really spending a lot of money feeding me over the last 19 weeks, because I thought I was gonna be fight months ago, but here we are again. They're keeping me in shape, keeping me fueled, and I got Beast Flow. They're in charge of my walkout gear, and just a little bit of supporting help from the side, and you guys are just following my journey.
Ty Gwerder, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's always honor, pleasure having on the show. We come back. Stay tuned for more great action coming up here. Once again, only on It Is Last Call. Last call with the alcohol, only on the Blue Wire Hustle Network.